I'm visiting Seattle for the first time ever and wanted to visit a banquet hall type of Cantonese restaurant right in the heart of Seattle's Chinatown. In this video, I found it, and I want you to join me to see what it's like. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. I'm visiting Diamond Bay Restaurant, which is known for traditional Cantonese dim sum and their dinner menu. Today I'm here for the dim sum. Since I'm from New York City, I want to compare my experience of New York to the best of Seattle. How will Seattle's best stack up? Watch and see. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show, and I'm super excited. I'm at a restaurant in Seattle in the International District called Diamond Bay. And the reason why I'm here is because I wanted to find one of the largest dim sum restaurants in Seattle. I had a couple to choose from, but this one, their dining room looked really nice, very modern and clean, so I decided to stop by. It's on a Thursday during the middle of the week, and this is the height of lunchtime. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try out several of their dim sums, and also by the end of the video, let you know which dim sum was my favorite. So stay tuned, and also, here's the menu. Okay, now let's take a look at the menu. The menu is done on an iPad, like many modern Chinese restaurants. So you have the types of food on the left. Everything is organized, like the steamed dim sum right here. You have rice noodle rolls, and then you have the fried dim sums right here. And then you have the bigger plates down here, vegetables, rice and noodles, dim sum specials. What you do is that you just press the plus sign and then all your items come out here. And what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to send it all to the kitchen. Here it goes. And then it's sent to the kitchen. Voila. The first item that I ordered is the roast pork bun. Now, these come in a set of 3. Let's take a look at what they're like. There's a nice glaze on top. It's very, looks very sweet. From the diameter of this is about 3 inches. So it's sort of medium-sized, not like the full-sized char siu bao. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to rip open the bun. It's pretty sticky. And let's see what we have. Now, wow. Now let's take a look at this. There appears to be a decent amount of filling. I wouldn't say overfilled, but a decent amount. The gravy doesn't seem to be overly thick. So I would say this is a medium-sized amount of filling. And the bun is very fluffy. I can just feel it. So we're going to give this a try. The first dish I'm going to try is the roast pork bun, and this is what it looks like. I just ripped it open, and I have to say it has a very light, fluffy feeling. It's not a dense bun, and the top part has the sticky glaze on it. So let's give this a try. Okay. Now this is a very old-fashioned type of roast pork bun. And what do I mean by that? I don't mean that it's super thick in terms of the bun. I mean that the flavor is sweet, it's fairly neutral. It has that glaze of that sauce. There's not too much sauce in here. The flavoring is very good. It's not overly sweet. The char siu, or the roast pork, is recognizably char siu. And there isn't a ton of filling in here. But because the bun is so light, that's okay, because it's still balanced. So yeah, I do like this, but it's a very light edition of a char siu bao. This is nice and traditional and well balanced. The next dish that we ordered is the quarter portion, or a dim sum portion, of Chinese roast duck. Now this is very interesting. I'm always making a comparison between New York and Seattle, since I'm from New York. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to take a look at this sauce down here. This is very interesting. In New York, usually they don't provide a sauce. And there's only one place in New York where I see that they do this. And this is probably a very old-fashioned way of doing it. And this was at a place in the Upper East Side that I went to. I think it was called, well, I can't remember what it was called, but there was this one very westernized Chinese place that I went to. Here's the roast duck. And if you take a look at it, there's the breast, and there's some of the leg portion. And here's some of the back. There's much less meat here. So yeah, I'm not really digging the thinness of the meat, but over here you're getting plenty of skin. So let's take a look at the breast, and I'm going to squeeze it. And yes, you see all that nice duck oil coming out. So yeah, this one is definitely going to be moist, and I'm going to give that a try. in my next segment. The next item that we ordered is the Cantonese roast duck. Now, this is a dim sum portion, so it's about $13. I believe the whole duck, actually the half duck is about $23, so this is what you get. And I'm going to try the breast portion because that's going to be the most telling about this duck. So let's give it a try. Wow, that is very good. Has very clean flavor. In fact, this is interesting. This duck is not overcooked. It almost tastes like those chickens at Chinese restaurants where they cook it right to the point of doneness. I've never seen that done with a duck before, so this is a very nice way that they did this. I've never tasted duck like this before, so it's very nice. Now, because of that, it has a very fresh duck flavor, a very pronounced duck flavor. The meat itself, because it's not overdone, is nice and juicy. So very, very good, very convincing in Cantonese taste. And you can see on the bottom all those spices. Very well done. I like that. Now, let's try a piece that a lot of people don't eat much of. This is the neck. So let's try this. Okay, that neck piece is great. When you're eating the neck, you're really eating the skin. So that is actually really good. Has a nice amount of fat in it. And yeah, overall, that duck, definitely genuinely Cantonese and genuinely good. Equivalent to anything you can get in New York. We ordered the Hamsoy. Hamsoy, as you can see, is about 2.5 inches from left to right. And they kindly cut it for us in half. So let's break this open and see what it looks like. Oh my gosh, take a look at this. This particular Hamsoy has a very thin shell. Some of these are very glutinous, a lot of sticky rice, but this one is only about like a 1/4 inch thickness. And look at that beautiful saucy pork that they put in here. I see more pork and sauce than I do see any of the root vegetables, but this one actually looks pretty good. It's big, but there's not a lot of the mochi type of rice in here, but we're gonna give it a try. I've had these done like this before, so yeah, we'll see how they do it. The next item I'm going to try is the Hamsoy, and this is what it looks like. They cut it open for me, so I'll open it again for you to see. Look at that, like a little Pac-Man. So what we have here is that we have a very thin shell. Some places do it that way. They do it like that here, so let's try this. Wow, I love this. The crunchiness is amazing. I really enjoy that. It's perfectly balanced between the crunchiness and the amount of rice skin, the mochi skin. I taste some sweetness in that skin in the mochi part. It's a little strong, but it's okay. But I just love that balance of the crunchiness, right? Sometimes you get some of these types that would have tons of mochi in the middle, the rice, but this one doesn't have that. So this is perfectly balanced. The other thing that I need to mention about is the meat on the inside. Sometimes there are some root vegetables or other stuff in here, but this is mainly meat. It's okay because the flavoring is perfect. This is a solid Hamsoy. Just an observation about this restaurant. We're here on a Thursday at around 12:30, and this place is packed. There's no line, but the place is packed and people are constantly coming in and out. I also noticed that a lot of the clientele here speak Cantonese or Thai Chinese. So yes, judging from that, this is pretty much an old line type of establishment. I also read that even though it's an old line establishment, the restaurant is still pretty new from what I understand. So yeah, coming from New York, I wanted to go to a big banquet hall, and when I did my research, you know, this and a few others popped up, but this one had the highest rating. So this is why I'm trying Diamond Bay. And so far, so good. The next dish that we ordered is the shrimp and pork sumai, or shrimp and pork dumpling. Now, these are steamed in the basket. It has the nice yellow skin wrapper. From the looks of it, it's a very pale colored meat, which is white for the pork. And then you have what appears to be some salmon eggs or flying fish roe on top, which is pretty common just to decorate it. I won't really know what this is like until I bite into it, because there should be shrimp in there, but I don't visually see it. So we'll try it soon. The next dim sum that I'm having is the shrimp and pork sumai, or shrimp and pork dumpling. This one is pretty hefty. Look how thick this is. Look how heavy it is. It feels heavy in my chopsticks. Let's bite into this. Wow. Look at that. There's a whole piece of shrimp in here, chopped up, but identifiably shrimp. And there's the pork right here. There's plenty of flavor in there, well seasoned. They added the salt, good amount of salt, which is how I like it. What I was really afraid of was that when I saw this sumai, I thought, oh, it's so white. I don't know. Did they make it into a paste or something undesirable? But as it turned out, it's not a paste. These are full pieces of minced pork, which is really good. And I really think that it's handmade. It's not one of those things where they would just order it from a factory and reheat it. This is definitely a restaurant-made sumai. And once again, they're not afraid of seasoning this in the right amount of salt. So yeah, and you can feel the texture that this is homemade. Once again, another near perfect dim sum. I love this. This is a must-have.
The Chiu Chow dumplings came to the table and they were about 2.5 inches wide. They also came 3 to an order.
Okay, now it's the time to try the Chiu Chow dumpling, and this is what it looks like. I can't believe how bouncy and pliable the skin is. I just love the texture of this. If it's done this way, I think it's done the right way, so let's give it a try. The bounciness is totally evident. You feel it. It's such a pleasant chew. The thing that hit me really hard was that you taste the white pepper in it. Pretty pronounced white pepper in there. There's lots of vegetables in there. Perfect balance of saltiness and crunchiness. Actually, the vegetables in here, probably the daikon, nice and chewy. I really love this. Yeah, there's the nice savory dried shrimp in here. This is something really to enjoy. Whenever you want to enjoy this type of dumpling, you're really looking for the vegetable part, not really the protein part. And this one delivers. It's not too heavy. So all in all, on scale 1 to 10, that Chiu Chow dumpling gets a 10. The flavor is perfect, the balance is perfect, and I just loved everything about it.
We ordered the dried shrimp rice roll. Now, the length of the rice roll was about 8 to 9 inches long. That was a lot of rice roll all on one plate. There's also a heavy concentration of dried shrimp in the mix.
The next dish I'm going to try is one of my favorites. I love shrimp fun. I love rice rolls, and I'm going to try the rice roll with the shrimp. So this is the shrimp rice roll. Let's give this a try. Now I'm going to snap off a piece of this. This comes as an entire rice roll. I'll just have to snap it off. They sure scraped it off the bottom of the pan. So here you go. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. The only thing that I can identify are the shrimps and the scallions. That is delicious. This is so good. When I was giving the description of this, I told you that there was this roasted oil flavor or aroma, oil aroma. I can taste that aroma. It's almost like a toasted oil. I really love that. Yeah. What they did was that they probably roasted the oil with the soy sauce and put over the rice roll. So this is absolutely delicious. I love the texture. Look how thin the rice rolls are. And that sweet soy sauce is perfect. Definitely get this. Anything that you can get that you know is handmade and is good, you should get. And this I highly recommend. We ordered the purple sweet potato lava ball. Now this ball is actually pretty big. That's about 2 inches wide. It has a sprinkling of regular sesame and black sesames here. Let's see what the sweet potato looks like. Wow, the skin is sweet potato. And also the liquid filling in here is actually lava. So that's probably the salted egg yolk in here. And it's very liquidy. We're gonna give this a try. The next item I'm trying is the purple sweet potato lava ball. Now I showed you what the lava is. Here it is the yellow stuff. So let's try this. It's gonna dribble out. It's like heaven biting into this. The toasted sesames give this such a nice aroma. It's wrapped in that purple mochi. They call it purple sweet potato. I'm not sure if I can taste the sweet potato in it, but it's very mochi-like. It's absolutely delicious. The lava is definitely the salted egg yolk lava, and it's lightly sweet. So yeah, the thing that has the biggest punch in this dish is the sesame seeds. And then when you mix that with the lava, is that sweet and aromatic flavor that's mixed together. It's really nice. This is a flavor you can't get in Western type bakery items. Definitely order this. This is very different. The next item that we ordered is the baked hawthorn bun. Now this is going to be very interesting. If you know sandapin in Cantonese, it's some kind of berry. So this is called the baked hawthorn bun. It appears to be a green tea top. It's kind of flaky on top, so this might be sweet. And this bun is about 3 inches wide. You know what? I'm really curious. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to break it open and let you see what's inside. This doesn't have any of that topping on it. So let's cut this open. And once again, these buns are very light, very airy and light. As you can see, you see that? How light and airy these are? And when you go on the inside, oh my gosh, this actually doesn't seem to be hawthorn bun. This actually looks like a tasiu bao. The filling resembles the tasiu bao filling. So you know what? I'm gonna find out what that hawthorn is all about. The next item I'm going to try is the baked hawthorn bun, and this is what it looks like. This looks very much like green tea. I have no idea what it's going to taste like, but I just showed you that it looks like a tasiu bao. So we're gonna give this a try. Let's try this. Okay, I have so many things to say about this. This is like a hybrid of like a Frankenstein bun. Let's talk about the filling first. Hawthorn is supposed to be something that is some kind of berry, Chinese berry, but I don't taste any of that hawthorn, although it's the same color, in that the filling is basically tasiu bao filling or baked pork bun filling. So yeah, I really don't know where that hawthorn comes from. Next, you have the crumbly top. The crumbly top, yes, does taste like green tea, and it's not very sweet. On a scale 1 to 10, the sweetness is probably a 2. So it's actually pretty weak in sweetness. But yeah, it gives a nice crunchy contrast to the bun, so that's probably why they put it there. I think the best function of this green top is as a decoration. It differentiates it. But essentially, I think what I'm eating is a tasiu bao with a semi-sweet, crumbly top. It's interesting, but you know, I wouldn't go out my way to get this one. And now's the time for your favorite part of the show. Ta-da! The star of the show. And oh, this was very hard to choose from. I had 3 items that I was strongly considering. The Hamsoy, the fried pork dumpling, the chung fun, the hamai, which is the shrimp rice roll, or the Chiu Chow, the Chiu Chow dumpling. The one that I chose was the Chiu Chow dumpling. And the reason why I chose the Chiu Chow dumpling is because, look at this. Look how stretchy and great that texture is. There were a lot of things with good texture. All 3 that were on my list to be the #1 dish had great texture. But this Chiu Chow dumpling by a whisker beat everything, and the reason why is because that skin was the most pliable, supple, stretchy skin that you could have on a Chiu Chow dumpling. For those of you who are not familiar with it, there are so many Cantonese dumplings that you can have. But when you add that tapioca starch in there and also the tapioca in there, you would get an amazing stretchiness to this type of dumpling. That combined with the great amount of vegetables in there and also that pork and the peanuts in there, this is divine. Great balance and something that not a lot of people love, but this is my favorite. Definitely something to get. What a meal. I am so glad that I came to Diamond Bay. Sometimes Google reviews are really true. This place, I believe have a 4-star and above aggregate review score. Yeah, this place is actually really good. Very true to the Cantonese tradition of dim sum. What I loved about the food here is that I can tell almost everything is definitely restaurant made. Some places in New York and some places outside New York, you have to be very careful because the stuff that they make might be the frozen stuff, but They're reheated by the kitchen, but this stuff, everything appears to be homemade, done at a very high quality. And also, I could probably tell that this place is really good because it's so crowded during a weekday. This is my first trip ever to Seattle. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest before. And coming from New York, we have the entire gamut of Chinese food, Asian food. And I wouldn't say that it's the greatest, it's the best. I don't want to make those types of assertions, but I just want to see what the regional differences are. And as far as I can tell, this is pretty much on par from what I can find in New York City in all the Chinatowns. So yeah, I was super happy to be able to come here in Seattle and enjoy this type of meal. This is a great first restaurant that I visited, and I look forward to having a lot more food just like this. And if you have a chance to come to Seattle, give this place a try. Thanks for watching the Minute Review Show. If you like this video, please subscribe and also click the bell notification to see my other reviews, because sometimes people don't see any notifications, and I make at least one video a week. Also, if you would like to support my channel, please buy me a coffee. The link is right over here, and I will see you again very soon in my next video. The final bill before tip is $77.28.